Okay, you guys, thank you once again and welcome for joining us today. We're going to kick it off. Um, Welcome to our Mastering the New Email Features in OnePageCRM. We are really excited to have you here, and we're going to walk you through how you can get more value from email workflows inside the CRM. Now, some of you may know, but my name is Julia, and I'm part of the customer success team here at OnePageCRM. And joining me is my co-host Larry, who will be keeping an eye on the Zoom chat and Q&A throughout the session. So just in case you are not as familiar with Zoom, you can find the Q&A section by hovering over your screen and clicking the Q&A icon at the bottom of your screen. If you have any questions during the session, you can add them there and Larry will be answering them as they come in. Now, if you think of any questions, like just in general about the CRM, or you think of them after today's webinar, you can reach us via our support email address, which is displayed there at the top corner. Let us know if you have any questions, feedback. We love to hear from you guys. We're going to go through just a couple of slides, and then we'll move on to our live demo. Now, here's a quick look at what we'll cover today. First, we'll show you how to set up templates for scheduled emails, so you can save them and time on repetitive writing. Then we'll look at email sequences and how you can automate follow-ups so no lead slips through the cracks. After that, we'll explore autoflows and how it can be automatically used to trigger emails based on your workflow. And finally, we'll wrap up with the live Q&A for any remaining questions. So that's what we'll be covering today. But before we jump into the how, let's take a step back and look at the why this matters. The reasons we're running this webinar is because consistent follow-ups are one of the biggest challenges in any business. Leads can easily slip through when there isn't a structured system in place. On top of that, manual emailing can be time-consuming. And when things get busy, follow-ups are often delayed or missed. That's where the autoflow and our new email features come in. They can help you streamline your outreach, automate your follow-ups, and stay consistent so that you can spend more time on building relationships and closing deals. So with that in mind, let's move forward from theory to practice and see how this actually works inside OnePageCRM. So I'm just going to open my test account over here. There we go. We're going to start with scheduling emails. One of the simplest ways to get consistent follow-ups in our CRM is by scheduling emails directly in a contact profile. Ooh, sorry, didn't expect to be logged out. Give me 2 seconds there. There we go. All right, let's start with scheduling emails. As you guys know, one of the simplest ways to stay consistent is with follow-ups in our CRM, is by scheduling emails directly from the contact profile. Let's try that again. You probably know that you can schedule emails when drafting an email. But to make this even faster and more scalable, you can create templates for these individual scheduled emails and insert them in just a few clicks. For example, we can look this up here and we can see I have a template already ready. So by clicking on this, it will now insert and schedule the email for the next day at 9 o'clock. Now to create these scheduled emails, in my case, it's going to be a follow-up proposal. You just want to click on the insert button over here and then on emails and then schedule emails. Here you can select your template. So as mentioned, it's going to be proposal follow-up in my case. And I want this to be sent within 2 days after I insert this. And I want it to be sent at 11. Now that we have this ready, we just want to click on Save. Once it's created, you can insert it from this window, or as shown before, you can do it from the next action text box. So I'm just going to click here and click on Insert. And the email is scheduled for in 2 days. Now, just to give you a couple of quick examples of when this could be really helpful, you might want to schedule a follow-up email a few days after an initial call or a meeting, so you don't forget to follow up with them, and it feels timely for the contact as well. You could also prepare outreach emails in advance and have them go out at optimal times during the weeks. Now that we have seen how to schedule individual emails, let's take it one step further. With an email sequence, you can group multiple emails and schedule them to a contact all at once, making follow-ups even faster and more consistent. These can, by the way, also be inserted by the next action text box. So in my case, I just want to look up the name. It's going to be nurture sequence. And all of the different emails, as you can see, have been inserted, right? Now, the key difference here is that instead of adding just one scheduled email one by one, multiple emails are inserted. And each email in the same sequence has its own timing. So for example, the first email is going to go out just today, the next one in a few days, and another one the following week. They're created in a very similar way as the individual scheduled emails. We're still going to click on Insert and Emails and Schedule Email. And from here, we're going to select our different email templates, right? So for me, that's going to be follow-up call, no answer. And I want this to be going out on the same day. Just to let you guys know, if the time that you have scheduled it to go out on the same day is already passed, this email would be sent within the next hour, right? Now, to group another email template to this, we want to click on the blue plus icon at the back here, select our next template, in my case, follow-up call, no answer 2, and I want this to be sent out 2 days after. And instead, I want this to be sent out at 11. And one more email template I'd like to send out in 5 days. It's going to be my third follow-up email in 5 days. And this I want to go out at 10. Now I'm just going to give this a quick name. Here we go. And we're going to save this. Now, same as before, we can insert it from this pop-up window or from the next action text field. And here we go. All of these emails have been inserted. This means saving time and making sure nothing falls through the cracks. Now, again, a few examples on how you might want to use this for. You could use this to nurture any of your new leads, for example, sending them a welcome email followed by a check-in, and then you could use a value-driven follow-up over a couple of weeks. Or you could use it to re-engage inactive contacts, right? Reaching out to these contacts with a series of emails spaced out over time to bring them back into your pipeline. So that's how you can use email sequences to automate multiple touch points. Lastly, we'll look at how you can take this even further with the autoflow feature. This is where automation really comes into play. Now, as you know, for the autoflow, we want to go to our, before we go to the autoflow, let me show you really quickly on how this could work, right? For example, we go to our contact Beatrice over here. Nope, sorry, we wanted to create a new contact. I'm so sorry. We're going to click here. I have a autoflow prepared, and I'm just going to quickly create a new contact, right? A trigger for the autoflow could be anything, including a new contact. And I want to make sure I have an email for this person. Here we go. Now, as you see, the autoflow is immediately triggered, and it's going to insert the welcome new leads email sequence. I can have a quick preview of what email is going to be used and when they're going to be sent. And I can even select if I want to have the tag applied or not. So I'm just going to click on confirm, and the new contact will be created, including the email sequences being inserted. Now we're going to move on to our autoflow feature. So we're going to click on more and go to autoflow. And here we're going to click on new autoflow. Now I'm going to select my trigger. In my case, it's going to be if I make a call to any contact and they didn't answer. So I'm choosing my call result. Now the operation I want to happen is to insert an email sequence. And it's going to be the one that we just created earlier, which is a follow-up no answers sequence. Now I'm just going to name this really quick because that's important. Always good to use a descriptive name and saving it. Now, once this is in place, the trigger runs every time the autoflow is activated. So, for example, let's go to our Beatrice contact, right? Let's say we just called Beatrice, we couldn't reach her, so we're leaving a call note, right? We just want to go in here, click on no answer, We could leave a short note with our contact, something along the lines of, try to call Beatrice, no answer, follow-up scheduled. Now I just want to click on save, and I can see the autoflow is triggered, and it's going to send the three emails that we have put in a sequence earlier. So I'm just going to confirm this, and all of these emails will be scheduled automatically. Now, other practical ways that you might want to use the autoflow for individual contacts could be after completing a meeting. You could trigger a follow-up email or a short sequence to keep the conversation going. You could also use it when you move deal to a specific deal stage to automatically send out the next steps in an email or a proposal follow-up without needing to have to do it manually and scheduling it. So with autoflows, you're not just scheduling emails, you're automating the entire process based on your workflow. Combined with scheduled emails and sequences, this can really help you save time and stay consistent with every contact. These features, along with a few other recent updates, have just been released. And we're really, really delighted to let you know that you can now also connect multiple email accounts, including IMAP and SMTP email contacts. With that, we've actually come to the end of today's webinar. Thank you all so much for taking the time to join us and listen today. We really, really appreciate it.